Now, with that in hand, the crew is currently working the procedures led by pilot Kevin Ford and mission specialist Christer Fugelsang of the European Space Agency to begin driving the clamshell-like payload bay doors into their open position and to deploy the heat-dissipating radiators that will provide cooling for the shuttle's avionics. The general-purpose computers on board Discovery have been configured for the on-orbit load of software, and as soon as the doors are open, Ascent Flight Director Richard Jones will poll the team here to get a go for on-orbit operations. The crew on board Discovery still has much work to do before it begins its first 8-hour sleep period in orbit just before 5:30 this morning. Once they get the go for on-orbit operations, they'll begin to stow their launch and entry suits. And pilot Kevin Ford and mission specialist Pat Forrester will begin to activate and unfurl the shuttle's robotic arm. From the port sill along the payload bay, where they will conduct the survey of the payload bay elements, including the Leonardo multipurpose logistics module, the cargo module, that is carrying almost 8 tons of equipment to be transferred to the International Space Station. The mechanical systems officer here in Mission Control now confirms that the payload bay doors are open and latched for on-orbit operations. Meanwhile, here in the flight control room, the Orbit 2 team of flight controllers has begun a shift handover from the Ascent team. The Orbit 2 team will be coming on console, led by Flight Director Kwatsi Alabarujo. He'll be joined by spacecraft communicator Stan Love on the far left of your screen. The Ascent team will sign off before long and will return the day before landing on September 9th to oversee the checkout of all of the flight control surfaces and all of the orbiter's systems on the eve of its homecoming to the Kennedy Space Center.
Houston Discovery, Block 4 is complete and the payload bay doors are open.
Copy that, Pat. Good work. And Discovery, Houston, we have a question about the floodlights in the payload bay.
Go ahead, Houston.
For the forward lights, the starboard light, we can't tell whether it's on or off. Could you tell us what the starboard forward payload bay light is? What's its status?
It is in the off OFF position.
Copy.
But just so you know, Kevin, we've got both mids on and we have the forward port on.
Okay, copy that. That clears up our question.
And I'll let you know, we started to turn those payload bay floods on.
Momentary period of ratty communications.
We missed most of your transmission, but you could repeat it.
Yeah, I was just letting you know that we got ready to turn those